So I had a question come in about what do you do when clients don't pay you on time? So maybe you have a recurring arrangement with them, a monthly retainer or fee. And what do you do when clients aren't paying you when it's due? Well, there's a couple things you can do. And this is what I said to this person who asked me. So I just thought I would share this video with you so that you also can have this as reference. First thing you want to do is make sure you're using a system that allows you to auto send and have them auto pay your invoices. Personally, I use FreshBooks for this. I believe Stripe has recurring payment links now you can send if you're not using any kind of a tool for this. It sounds like PayPal, which is what this person was using, doesn't have this particular feature, so it may not work for you. However, you ideally need to have some piece of software that allows you to send invoices automatically so that A, you don't forget, or B, you're not late, and C, it doesn't create a job for the client to have to pay you every single month. So you want to make it super easy for them so that they put in their credit card and then automatically gets deducted every single month. And if that still doesn't work, or if the client decides, hey, you know what, I don't want to put my credit card in there, or I want to send a check in the mail, which I personally just don't handle checks anymore. You can make rules. You can say something like, number one, I don't take checks. I take automatic bank transfer, or I take credit card, which is how I handle things. And I will assume all costs for doing so. So when you pay me, I don't add any fees regardless of how you pay, even if you pay by credit card. And my fees are sometimes in the north of $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 per month. So people do swipe credit cards on transactions that size sometimes, and I eat those credit card costs as a cost of doing business. And clients love it because they get credit card points, which is a whole separate thing. But that's kind of how you can set a rule around the type of payments you're gonna receive. Now, in addition, though, you can also say something along the lines of, hey, I don't want to make it stressful for you to have to pay me on time every month by sending you invoices on the day that they're due. I recognize that a lot of times people need a bit of time to pay them, to process them, to maybe send them to accounting, to get approvals, whatever it is. How early in advance of when they're due would you like me to send them to you so that you have time to process it by the day that it's due? And so I usually do that in the kickoff email. I usually do that upfront as we're about to pay that first invoice. And I say, hey, I usually send invoices on the day that they're due because people typically auto pay me on a regular schedule. And if you're planning on doing that, then I can send them on the day they're due, knowing that you're just going to pay for it that day. And then the few days it takes to arrive in my inbox or my bank account is totally fine. But if you'd like time to process it, or you need time to process it manually, let me know. Let me know how long in advance you'd like me to send it so that we don't have a delay in service, so that we don't have to pause work for delayed payment, for example. And that's just my policy. So doing that really soon and upfront with that very first invoice sets the expectation that, number one, here's how you're going to work. Number two, you expect to get paid on time. Number three, that work doesn't continue if you don't pay on time. And so these are the kind of factors that you want to bake into your process. So if you have a recurring payment or invoice of a certain kind, you don't want to make it a job for your client, because also they're going to look at that invoice every month and be like, do I want to pay this? Do I want to pay this? That you're kind of reevaluating, like it should hurt a little bit as they're swiping that card, or else you're probably not charging enough. Meaning there should be a point in which you're capturing enough value that they feel it. And so the last thing you want is for them to both have to do work and then to feel it, rather than having it auto transact and having it be baked into their balance sheet or their cash flow statements. So that's how I handle recurring invoices. In general, I use a tool called FreshBooks. You can use anything. I believe QuickBooks has this. Most invoicing tools will have something like this, where the client securely uploads their credit card information into that platform and then auto transacts until they cancel, either with you or you cancel it on the back end, or sometimes they can actually customize and manage their payment options on the back end and or cancel themselves as well, depending on what you're selling. So that's how I handle it. And I really do, I don't typically stop work for late payments, but I really do look at, hey, if it's been a week or if credit card payments have failed, I'll give them a week or so to figure it out. But after that, I'm going to be on their case, and I'm going to attempt to pull that money from their bank account through manual action, through FreshBooks, or check in with them and make sure that everything is all good. So that's how I handle it. I try not to pause service. I try not to make it a big deal. But if people are taking weeks or anywhere past a few weeks or even anywhere approaching a month, hard no. I don't work with people for late payments. It introduces a stress between our relationship that I don't want to have to be in. I don't want to have to chase payments from you because it's uncomfortable for you, it's uncomfortable for me, and it can be a distraction to our work. So I'd rather we just handle this. Let me know what works for you, and I'll send it as early in advance as you need to, or if you want to add your credit card in there, no problem, we can do that as well. So setting that expectation from the beginning, from that very first invoice, and making sure you get paid before you actually start work, that's going to be how you set the tone for the rest of the engagement. Most clients are really good. They pay promptly, especially when you set those expectations early. But there are occasions where people take advantage, or they're not doing great with cash flow and they have to push off supplier expenses. That's fine. They can do that with someone else. Your expectation is, I'm going to do great work for you and I'm going to get paid in advance to do that. And here's my system for doing that. Here's my policy. And here's what happens if you don't pay on time. We pause work. It makes it easier than having to chase you every month, which is not comfortable for anyone. So that's my policy, and that's me being in business for this number of years, and that's why I've landed on that particular policy. So I hope this helps you. If you're not getting paid on time, that hopefully some of these tips will help you. It works the exact same way with project revenue as well. You may or may not schedule those next invoices if there's many parts to your project. Either way, though, your expectation is I get paid by this date. How early would you like me to send it so that I can get paid at that period of time? And that basically changes the conversation from, hey, you're overdue, pay me, which is fine. I send emails all the time that say, hey, this payment's overdue. It's an automated thing through my system. Please pay at your earliest convenience. That's fine. But ideally, the conversation is, hey, I know that it takes time to process it. And we're running a little late here on this one. How do we fix this for next time and going forward? So that's it, my friends. Hopefully there's something in there that can change the way you're invoicing and make it easier for you and a better experience for your clients, because that's ultimately going to help you build longer, more sustainable and profitable relationships. If you're interested in more of this kind of stuff, head over to kevin.me, my personal website. I blog and write for my newsletter all the time, so you're going to find all the best stuff there. And I've got all kinds of goodies for you on your site, especially if you're a marketing consultant looking to create more leverage and profit in your business using your expertise and not just your hands. That's it for now, my friends, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.